In today's video, we're going to be looking at ticker symbol OPEN, which went from 0.52 cents to well over $10, and yesterday was up over 70%. And can this run continue? What are the reasons behind it? For MMTLP, we're going to be sharing with you details of the highest dollar share price, so stay tuned for that, which is quite staggering, bigger than Madoff. And before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, we can see here from Wall Street Journal, the stock market closed September the 11th on a record high, and the Dow hit 4,600. This is in response to inflation and also jobless claims. Both are rising, obviously. However, the investors are penciling in a Fed cut, and I think that is the probability of that is over 90%. From Reuters, we can see here the Asian markets are also riding the Fed, looking at easing the cycle and also looking at record peaks. So we have had more or less all of the earnings come through this week, and I think the ones that are called were Oracle, a tremendous beat there. We also called Chewy, good results there, and Adobe yesterday, which I think was exceptional. If we have a quick look at the Adobe figures here, we can see the revenue was a beat, the income was a beat, and the earnings per share was a significant beat. But another stock that I'd like to share with you here is ticker symbol GRAB, Grab, and this is a stock that have been featured on a number of occasions on the channel. I think we're going to share with you here six quick reasons why I think it could be ready for a potential breakout. So we have the short interest, which was down from 178 million shares from a previous 187 million shares. We have the Labour Day softening quick, and the rate cut coming potentially. Lower FFR, and that obviously means faster growth and projected 30 to 40% top line growth. I think the share price is up quite significantly here. We can see in the chart, and if we look at the chart here, yesterday up over 4%, and on the previous 5 days up over 9.5% at $5.32, potentially ready for a breakout. So other news, let's have a look at Oracle. So shout out here to Mike, who's posted tagging in AMD as well, and this is the interview after the Oracle earnings, and he states he loves how Dr. Sue never insulted competitors, focused on what any AMD can best for Oracle, and unlike some of the other analysts trying to get short sellers to cover. So good news there. Shout out now to the Discord in terms of some of the important things that we've focused on, and that is one with regard to Oracle and OpenAI. They signed a $300 billion deal, which makes it the largest cloud computing contract in the world according to Wall Street. We also shared a number of important insider buys. Micron earnings, great, we're looking forward to them, and what's happened is Citi have lifted their price target, so we're looking forward to that. And they are, we can see that Citi have raised the price to $175, so congratulations to everybody in Micron. And also WBD also jumped. And finally, quick review of the previous week's weekly watch list, where we called out a number of important stocks, including Upwork, CNL, REAYN, RG Race, NRGV, and many more. If you'd like to get the next weekly watch list, join us in the Discord. Details are in the description below. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share more details about the Trading Secrets Discord, and once you join, you'll get access to our daily stock alerts, the weekly watch list shared prior to trading on the Monday, also the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. And for some of the members, I also share my buy and sell alerts live. These include swing trades, and they also include long-term holds. In terms of the weekly watch list, these are our calls that are also recorded weekly with some tremendous returns, including LAES up over 152%, RUM up over 51%, and many more, but obviously not all calls are successful. We've had a $2,000 Discord update, and this includes live breaking news. It also includes why a stock is moving, analyst rating, FDA news, halt stack pools, and much more to help in your trading decisions. We have a new top ranked stocks DD channel with well over 30 stocks now for number one rated buy stocks. And finally, you can also join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we use compound return investing, looking at 201 trades with a return of 3.5%. Let's now have a look at ticker symbol OPEN, also known as Opendoor Technologies, and we start off by having a look at a company profile. This is a company that operates as a digital platform for the residential retail real estate transactions in the United States, and we can see headline there. The company is now being viewed as and perceived as a meme stock, going through a meme stock rally, and that is after some leadership updates. So first of all, let's have a look at what's happened in terms of the chart for the year today. It's up over 557%. At one point, you could get this trading at around about 51 cents. Currently trading over the $10 mark at $10.52. And I think what's interesting is even yesterday we saw the stock go up over 79%, trading at $10.52. So what are the current developments and what can we expect going forward in the future? But first of all, we can see here from CNBC, headline: Open stock is soaring at over 65% after the company has named a new CEO. So the new CEO is the former Shopify executive Kaz Najatin, and he's now been appointed. And we also have the previous co-founders, Keith Raboy, who is going to rejoin the company as chairman of the board, so that's positive. Looks like they're going back to the grassroots. And also the former CEO Carrie Wheeler, who previously resigned and that was after pressure from investors, and also there was a negative short report. So that's also being perceived as extremely positive. So let's have a look at what the company are basically saying. So they're saying they're going back into the founder mode by bringing Raboy and Eric Wu, who served on the company's first CEO, before the first company CEO, and obviously they stepped down in 2023 and are now back onto the board. So the business is involving technology to buy and sell homes, and they also pocket the gains. But the key thing that they are going to look at now in terms of transforming the business and making it future-proof is using artificial intelligence, i.e. AI. And this is in the process of buying and selling a home to make it radically simpler, faster, and also more certain. So let's have a look at the perceived benefits from the leadership. So they have Shopify has obviously had a successful company, extremely successful. What they do is extremely well, and the case that we're going to get under the new tech savvy management, that could pivot the business, and Opendoor can also potentially get benefits from more tech driven revenue streams. I think what's interesting here in terms of a post from Quiver Quantitative is that Cleo Fields purchased the stock. He bought this on July the 21st, 2025. It's now up over 225% since then, and today we've seen it go up over 77%. So let's now have a look at a word of caution, and that is with regard to the earnings. The previous earnings did underwhelm. They were quite poor, and the company reported a net loss, so that's not positive. So it is going to be a high risk, high reward stock. There was a loss of 4 cents per share, and that was a penny worse than expected. So keep an eye out on ticker symbol OPEN, and I think with the news in terms of interest rates expected, I think there could be more on this, but certainly one to watch. Finally, let's have a look at the latest updates for MMTLP. A first shout out here is to INAPE, who's posted tagging in Grok, and he states here to assess Judge Gary Speaker's ruling in terms of the retail and the shareholders family versus the broker dealers, and basically, is this positive or is this not positive? And he's looking for potential advice. We remember the judge did resign in the bankruptcy case, and asking judge, he's saying what are the advantages and disadvantages in this case in terms of the change of judge. And what George Palikaros has stated is he sees it as positive, given his extensive experience across multiple complex cases. However, one of the disadvantages that the judge may need some time to catch up. So it'll be interesting to find out the actual real reason why the judge did not continue. But let's continue on the legal theme. So next shout out is to KCEP, who's provided a recent update of the docket entries, upcoming hearing dates, and the order approving a stipulation allowing for the advancement and payment of an insurance policy signed by Judge Gary Spraker. So I covered this in one of my previous videos, so go ahead and check that out, where a $575 policy could potentially net some of the ex-directors $2.5 million, which I think is something that we should be questioning. And next shout out here is to Kit Kretridge, who states this is just his opinion. He believes that if everybody went to Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, McCabe would have had a blowout, and in terms of numbers he needed, and things would be over and done. So he believes this is now a crime that is frozen, and until it's unfrozen, we need the 2 days of trading. And he goes on to say he knows that the 3.4 billion barrels of oil, that's why he thinks it was halted, and those in trouble were about to be tipped off with regards to the U3 halt, and obviously things got extremely complicated after that, as we know. So let's now have a look at what's being perceived and shared as the highest dollar per share for MMTLP. So shout out here to Next Champion NBH, who stated here, wholly SHIT1, he's looking at zoomed in price of $999,999, and this is bigger than Madoff from 2008, bigger than Sam Bankman-Fried, and it states here the US government stole time, almost 3 years now since the U3 halt, and over 100,000 more family members of SEC FINRA who have stolen allegedly this money, and I think certainly he's not happy. So he goes on to say, tagging in the president and saying he would accept $5,000 a share, because obviously that screenshot he shared is looking at $200,000 per share. There was one, if we go back to the screenshot, we can see there was one that was rejected. I think that was for $14,900, but many of them were accepted as too late to cancel. And the final shout out is to Squatch, who's tagged in Andrew Bailey and Director Cash, and also talking about Rob Carter's show. We did have Trevor from Nicola on there, and there was massive financial fraud committed by FINRA allegedly that we know in terms of the MMTLP investors. And the key message here is that it was a very, very similar story to Nicola. So potentially billions of shares stolen and counterfeit shares sold. And finally, if you'd like to join us on our Discord, get a copy of our weekly watch list as well as the daily stock alerts. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.